jump in, as you can see. It's time to get this party live. Are you with me? Let's have a look. See what's happening. So, leave that one on. Let's check GU. GU we kind of want to drop. Not necessarily that it will though. Bear that in mind. See what we've got. Session range, session range, session range. Not relevant, not relevant. Take these two. Yesterday's New York. Yesterday's London. Put some better ones on there. Gosh. Extendo. Change that. Hide that. And there you go. That's a pretty picture. Check what's happened here. Swept the low. No change of character. Trying to break to the downside like we want it to. Let's plot that. Bosh. Is that wanting to sell off just yet? Or is it trying to fake us into that change of character? Dangerous one. Did break beneath the body on the 5 minute, came back, refilled the imbalance. Yeah, we could say this is trying to push lower. Let's condense this to like there, and there. Session range. Text middle. Cool. Right. Okay. This could be a trend. Straight away. Don't really want to take the 61 now, mate. Take that one. Take that off. Couple ticks above. Watch that low. Could even trade that lower all the way down to that. Actually no. Where do we want to take it on the daily? 2 fair value gaps filled. Fair value gaps filled there. Close to starting at that order block. Let's mark out that. 1 hour fair value gap. Starts there. Ends there. So those are some key levels that we can look at as well. Anything imminent happening on GU? Yeah, same thing. Okay, this one's kicking off straight away today. Check the sessions on here. Relevant, 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 relevant. That's our fair value gap. Relevant. Relevant. Okay, now let's check the 4-hour fair value gap there. Cool, right. This isn't really printing them lower lows yet. This should break a structure, this should break a substructure. That should break a structure, this is your break a substructure. Okay, so I think GU is valid. EU needs to wait. GU is valid. $23, $64, $82. 4.1 pips. Let me load up the chat. Got straight into it today. I see we've got some people in. Not actually sent out any links, so cheers guys for hopping on. You can put the notification on, the bell icon on the YouTube, and it'll give you a notification every day when I go live, usually around 9 AM. But yeah, this one's kicking off right away. So we've got this Asian range, broke beneath. It's kind of faked that it would go up, but then broke beneath. So what we're waiting on is, so what you've got here is sweep, change your character, it makes a new low. That's refilled imbalance, but then it's made another low again. So GU, we're taking the play that this extends lower. 4.1 pip stop. Wait for some confirmation first, we're not entering this yet. What's the spreads? 3 ticks. Okay. You want 2 minutes of rejection. Kind of like when you see that 10 at a bar. 3 beers deep. Go overall confident. It's kind of what we're waiting on here. If you don't have it, then it breaks through. And we don't take a trade. Closing above that EMA, this might not be a trade. Yes, Lewis, how are we doing? Hope you're good. Let's wait to see if this one rejects. Kind of doing a tweezer top right now. If that closes, that's good. That could be an entry. Let's bring that down to 23. Cool, right, that's an entry. Let's set a limit for the 71 retap. Mark up your levels. GU. New order. Pending. Sell limit. 22.7 lots. Price. Enter there. Stop. Back your spreads. Place that. Bosh. And what I'm going to do. Sell limit. Bosh. Place another. Okay, so if that retaps 71, I'm in. TP1. TP2. Let's send that out to the VIP. Looking for that retap to come back down. Fucking Telegram ain't opening. All them DMs. Where are we? Okay, cool. GBP, USD, sell limit. Entry 1.23023. SL 1.23062 or 4. TP1 1.22928. TP2 1.22892. RR 3.2. Bosh. Alright, that should get tagged in. 4 pip stop. Have my TPs on now. go TP1, TP2. Gosh. Cool. Right, we're in. 1 minute entry. See where we go. So what's happening here is, if you missed it at the start, the Asian session range got swept, faked a change of character as if it's trying to push higher, but then broke beneath the candle body close, came up, filled the imbalance, and then broke and made another low. So this could be faking to the downside to try sweep us out, take our stops and push higher, or it could be faking out these guys who want to trade it up here, and then we win. So it's kind of a bit of a trade war now between the trend continuation and the trend reversal for the Asian session sweep. So let's see what happens. That is a very sound strategy. I do like it, and it kind of goes hand in hand with this strategy as well. But we've had the break of, if we look on the 5 minute, we've had the break of structure to the downside, break of substructure to the downside. So this is a valid entry for us. Might not win, it might win. That's just trading. So place your bets. See where we go. Is EU doing the same? EU hasn't had that break of substructure. EU has swept Asian lows, made another low, but now it's also swept these highs and changed character above. So this could go either way, to be honest. This might stop us out, but that's fine. We know our risks. We've put 1% on it. We had our confirmations. So you just got to roll the dice. Not actually had a straight up losing trade in a while with this system. Had a few like stop losses at break even, but I've not had actually like any flat losses for a bit, so this might be the one. We do have fair value gaps being left behind, and then some pin bars, so not the most confident on this one, but confidence is an emotion, isn't it? Doesn't really matter. Just wait for your setup to show itself, tick all the boxes for your entry, and then don't think anymore. Just place the trade. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. When you win, you make more than when you lose. And that's it, we're out. Stop loss hit. 1%. That's fine. It happens. Don't cry about it. First losing trade in a while. Was kind of expecting it. I've still got my house and my wife and my kids. Didn't bet the mortgage on it, so we're all good. So, interesting to see now if this changes higher. And then we have a trade to the upside potentially. Let's see. Still early in the London session here. So let's watch for the sweep scenario. So we had this EMA resistance, prices broke above, swept that high. Let's see if it uses this EMA as support now, as it did here for the upside. Solid candle close above, support. Let's see if price pushes higher. If it does, the target would be this session range up here. So we didn't have that break of substructure. EU's kind of given a nicer setup. Could look to take a trade off of this. See where we could get an entry. So off of that fair value gap being filled, this is your order block, so you could actually take it from the top of that order block if that allows us to put stops beneath there. Target that for a 1 to 4. This would be a 5.1 pip stop on EU, spreads on EU, 1 tick. Let's price that up. So we can look for this to sweep, push higher. Here was our change of character. See what happens. Right, it's not pulled back straight away. Push higher. Yeah, see what happens with this. CM, hey Callum, I sent a message to Manada on IG to join the VP group. Haven't heard back yet. Let me check. I'll log in and sort it. Usually that'll be handled within 9 to 5 working hours. Yeah, got a few messages. Yeah, we'll get you set up today, mate. Don't worry. Everything that happened you'll see here live now anyway. See what happens here. We could look to enter on somewhere higher and then have the stop beneath this order block. Just depends on what RR it gives and where this high forms. So let's see, stops beneath the order block, couple ticks, session high, 61 would be a 2.8, this would be a 3, how strong is this? So yeah, GU is bouncing off of that EMA as support now. See if we can catch this. So with the VIP group, at the moment it's either £199 lifetime or £50 a month. We've had a lot of, since I've started these lives, we've had a lot of demand. So that £199 lifetime is just short term. It'll be going up to something like £365 yearly membership. So like £1 a day. Maybe starting February. So one more week left of like the pre-launch, like the initial price, promotional discount, and then we'll be moving up to almost double soon after. So get your spots in while you can. Anyone that's already inside, don't worry, your membership's locked in. You'll just get lifetime, but we will be changing it to like a yearly membership afterwards for anyone new that joins. But same price for the OGs, locked in. And we've got a Discord coming soon. Within there you'll have stocks and shares plays, based on value investing, so like the intrinsic value of the stock compared to its current price. Call out ones in there that are at least 33% below their value for like a more long-term like investment education. Do some crypto call outs and stuff in there. Maybe some health and well-being stuff as well. Goes hand in hand, health and wealth. And then we'll have different rooms for all of our traders in there as well, so you can see what everyone's up to. Okay, if this is the high, then this gives us a 4.7 pips stop. Yeah, that's at the right level. Okay, let's have a look. See if we want to put limits on this yet. So this would be a 40 lot trade. Maybe prepare for this one. I don't want to put a limit on this because it might just make another high and it's fucking annoying putting on limits and deleting them. So I might just mark it, execute this one if it comes down. This is what we're looking at. Morning, Ben. How are we doing today? CM says, I've got the standard 61.8 and the 78.6 fib. Would you mind sharing the middle fib? The middle fib is 0.71. So it's not actually a mathematical fib level, but this is like the middle ground between your 61.8 and your 78.6. And it's just a well-respected level in between the two of them. Moving kind of slow, which is good. What that means is we're at a turning point. Buyers are turning into sellers. Thailand's great, man. I've just popped down to Shillong this morning for a nice haircut. Got a nice coffee in a crypto cafe, which is cool. They had like all the TV screens set up to all the charts with all the different cryptos that they're watching and shit. They've got like a whole mining rig set up as well, through like a glass wall where you can see all their miners set up. Place was super cool. I just popped in for a coffee, but I'm probably going to set up there one time with my laptop and get some more work done, because it was really cool. The people there were really nice. Only witnessed 2 motorbike crashes this morning as well, which is alright. One of them was like a crazy Grab driver fucking trying to get his tip, and he just like drove straight over the path into a roundabout and fucking ploughed straight into the back of someone's car and then just drove off. And like you could see the back of their car was all scratched up, but you know, he had his pizza to deliver. And then the next one was tourist driving in the middle of the road in between the 2 cars, lost control, and then he's ended up veering off left, getting dragged along by another car, like scratching up all the side of the car for like a few seconds. Don't know if they stopped and sorted anything out. But yeah, always something going on the roads. I need to share the link out, don't I? Appreciate everyone in here. I don't think I've actually posted that I'm live, so appreciate you all seeing it pop up on YouTube. You can click that bell icon for the notifications every morning. I usually go live around 9 AM after the kill zone. Let's actually spread the word out. UK to Thailand is pretty wild. Yeah, it is. It's funny. It's funny on the roads. Bali's probably the worst for it in terms of on the roads. There's not that many. I think in my whole time in Bali, which I was there for about 3 months, I went to Ubud, I went to Canggu. So both of those are there, like the 2 hotspots for tourists. I saw 1 red light in my whole time in there for like 3 months. Like, that is wild. The roads are just not wide enough for the amount of people that are there now. Like, and they've already built everything. Do you know what I mean? All their infrastructure's built on like just a standard 2-lane road, but they really need like dual carriageways and motorways and several lanes for the amount of people there at the moment. So the traffic there is so bad, and there's no red lights. If you get to a junction, it is genuinely just like who can push past who first. And then it's like a river. Like if the traffic's flowing up until like you put your neck out and just drive in front of them slowly and hope that they'll stop, and then that's the next lane, the next junction of traffic flowing through. So yeah, Bali's crazy for it. But it's one of those where you're just constantly in traffic anyway, so you can't really get hit. Like, there isn't as many bike accidents in Bali as there is in Thailand, because It's like driving in London, but everyone's on a bike instead. Like, it's so just stop start for most of it. Whereas Thailand, like, the roads are a lot better. You've got your dual carriageways and motorways and stuff. You've got red lights. The red lights here are pretty cool. They don't have red light cameras. Their version of red light cameras is just have a countdown on top of the red light, so it counts down like how long the light's going to be red for until it goes green, to try and like stop people just driving through it. Whereas obviously in the UK you just get flashed and get a fine, whereas they can't do that here. So that's pretty cool. That like if you're at a red light, like, you know, you've only got like 20 seconds left, which is nice. But obviously because there's no cameras, if people just see that there's no one else coming, they will just drive through red lights. So yeah, there's a lot a lot of shit that can go wrong, put it that way. And there always is, like, you might not hear about it back home, but every single day here we see like a person died in a road accident or a traffic accident or like something like that. Always foreigners on motorbikes, trying to just have a laugh, not wearing helmets, and then yeah, you come off your bike and that's it for some people. So yeah, if you are over here and you want to mess around on a bike, like, definitely wear a fucking helmet, put it that way. Even if you're a good driver, like, it's not even your fault. There's some crazy potholes here as well that you sometimes don't see. Some of them have nearly ended my life as well. Round a roundabout, just going round, fucking pothole, massive fissure in the earth. Like, do you know what I mean? Anything can have you. Dog running out on the middle of the road or some shit. Yeah, they drive on the left here, same as the UK. Same as Bali. Bali drive on the left too. Well, Indonesia, of course. Did a bit of time in Jakarta for about a month. Fucking nothing going on there. Just malls and pollution. I've got travelling Scotland in September driving. That's pretty scary. Where are you from, mate? Where are you from, Siam? Let us know. Yeah, not seeing the pullback we want. Yeah, not really. So yeah, this is what I was saying. So EMA resistance, couple breakouts below, but then that was just a fake out of the sweep. Change of character higher, and now we're seeing the EMA as support, like we said. So we could even catch a trade off of GU here as well. So let's watch them both. Hawaii. Oh, cool, mate. Hawaii's fucking cool. I've never been, but it's one of those places, isn't it? Were you born there? Where do you recommend starting out places in Thailand? In terms of starting out, a lot of people start out in Bangkok, which, you know, easy to fly to, and then it sort of gives you a good route to travel, so you can go like Chiang Mai and go further down from there. The way we did it when we first got here, so I've done a good like 8 months around Asia, and then I've settled somewhere that I've found that like was the best for everything in one, like lifestyle as a whole. I started off in Koh Samui. Was there for a good like 2 months, I think, 2 or 3 months. and then we just flew to Phuket, back on the mainland, and then went further down, and then just went on to like where did we go first? Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Jakarta, Indonesia, Bali. Like, so we started off like at the bottom of Thailand already and went further down. Whereas if you start in Bangkok, you can actually see like the proper Thailand a lot better. So I would say to do that. If not, you could start off in Phuket and work your way up as well if you want to see the whole of Thailand. Depends which route you want to take with it, to be honest. Okay, so this is pushing higher. So look for GU now. Should leave this marked up. Born in France, parents moved here when I was 2. Yeah, nice. Hawaii seems like good retirement crack for your parents. And I guess you must have had a pretty chill, beautiful place to live in as you're growing up. Beats the streets of Yorkshire. A lot more expensive in Phuket now. I don't know, mate. Depends what you compare it to be honest. Went to a fucking top quality barber this morning, £7. Any coffee that you want, £2 or £3. Petrol, full tank for like £3. If you're comparing it to like the rest of Thailand, then yeah, Phuket is more expensive. But if you compare it to the UK, then nah, it's fucking cheap. When people say Phuket's expensive, they're meaning like if you compare it to like Krabi, Chiang Mai, all the other places. But in terms of like cost of living, if you're based here, then it's really good. But it's a lot more of a city. It's a lot more like developed than those other places. Like, you've got the big mall, you've got nice gyms, you've got nice cafes. The roads are well built. You've got all your franchises and shit. Got an airport on your doorstep. There's a lot of people coming at the moment to Thailand. You're seeing a massive rise of expats here. They're not really recording it accurately because you don't really need to become a permanent resident to live here. So there's different visas you can get, and the tourist visa here is pretty flexible as well. So you're seeing a lot of Russians, a lot of English moving over here. Mainly Russians from what I've seen. So this is what we're waiting on. Play on GU. Play on EU. Why Thailand? I'm actually doing a podcast in a couple of weeks about this. So I'll try save that for then and give a more like long depth if that's even a fucking word, long depth. Give a more in-depth explanation. Save that for them. Family there? No, I've not got family here. Me and the missus. Right, I believe. Nope, still need to post this out in a few places. Post that there. Let's post it in the free group. Yes, Rio, how you doing? Hope you're well, my man. Got a 5.5 RR set up on GU that we're waiting on. Classic setup. I'll put my levels on this. Give it TP3. Uh, 3.6 pip stop. GU spreads. 2 ticks. Oh, fucking hell, that was nasty then. I saw a 5. Let's call it 3 tick. Yeah, it's fucking moving at maybe 4 tick. Call that. Let me just price it up first. See what it'd be. 3.6 pip stop. See if it does bounce. EU might be a bit too strong. It's going to break higher. Let's see. EU has. Yeah, EU might not come down. GU might. I'll have to see. How and when did you get started with trading? Funny story. I'd never heard of trading or the stock market or anything until I was about probably like 17 years old. I was playing GTA 5. I don't know who was into GTA 5 here. I don't know if you remember, usually when you play GTA, right, there's like an infinite money glitch or like a money cheat where you put in your up, down, XY, L1, R1 combination and it gives you a fuck ton of money on GTA. Well, on the old school GTAs, like your San Andreas, your Vice City, all them ones, you just put in the code and get it. And that was sound. That's how you cheat the game. And in GTA 5 story mode, you could do that as well. But if you did that and used the cheats, I believe you had to sacrifice earning all of the trophies that you'd get. You know, like when you do like set missions and it gives you a trophy, and then you fucking, yeah, you get like achievements on the game and stuff like that. You couldn't do that if you entered the cheats. But there was an Easter egg on GTA 5 where if you went on the phone and went on the stock market and you just bought and sold the right stocks at the right time, you would do the infinite money glitch, make billions of dollars, and it wouldn't be cheating. So you would have loads of money and complete the game and get all the achievements. The way you did that is, if you remember the missions that were like, you got to assassinate the head of Redwood Cigarettes or whatever it was, or like you've got missions in the campaign that you had to do where you had to kill people, and these people owned companies. So the Easter egg was that if you shorted the fuck out of like Redwood Cigarettes or whatever it was, and then killed the guy, the stock price would plummet on the GTA stock market, and you would make a fuck ton of money on the game. And then obviously, while I was like 17, fucking researching what stocks to buy and sell on GTA 5, I happened to stumble across the stock market in real life. And I was like, oh, so this is like a real thing. Like, this is not just like part of the game. Like, this is actually a thing in real life as well. I'm like, well, why doesn't everyone just fucking buy and sell these things at the right time when things are about to happen in the world and make a fuck ton of money? And then I was like, oh shit, that's what investment banking is. Like, this is what banks do. This is how banks make their money. They just fucking trade it, put it on the stock market. And it is a real thing. And that is how people make fuck tons of money in real life. So it's like, I looked at it as like the real life money glitch. Rather than making billions on GTA 5, I'll make fucking billions in the actual stock market. And then yeah, from being 17, I got into it that way. Stumbled across it by accident, trying to fucking do Easter eggs on GTA 5. And then it stuck with me. And then now we're here 8 years later. And then I've just learnt all of this. So yeah, that's the origin of CH trading. Right, so this has broke higher. We'll keep following this. See where it takes us. We've got up until this. This is our upper trading range. Keep following it. See where it goes. Just to expand on the whole GTA story. So I didn't jump straight into FX. I jumped into CFD trading equities, which is where you're buying and it's basically trading forex, but you're not trading currencies. You're trading equities of stocks and shares, so companies. So like you'd place a trade on Amazon, for example, if you thought the price of Amazon was going to go up short term, and you trade it on the technicals. Same with Amazon, Alibaba, like all of these were big companies that I was trading at the time. Mainly losing money because I just got into it at the start. This was like my first fucking, like if I look back at those trades now, if I could, like I'd absolutely laugh at them and tear them apart. But that was just me getting into the whole stock market world, like as I've heard about it. And then come like 2019, I was doing bits of, have you cancelled pendings on EUGU? I don't have any limits on EUGU at the moment. Never placed them. This wasn't a limit, like I was waiting for it to come down and see our level. So yeah, I don't have any limits open. We're in GU longs on a swing, so this hit TP2 here, made like 3%. We're still riding this higher for TP3, and then maybe want to see this come down, tap our level and take us higher. It's currently in that 4-hour fair value gap, but we've got some 1 hour fair value gaps here, and we've got order blocks that haven't really been tested down here as well. So I was hoping to see GU pull down today and catch it on a stack and stack back into the trade, but we'll see if that plays out today or not. I had USwiss, had my eyes on USwiss. See what this one does. So this has had the third break of structure to the downside. This would be my last call to catch this wave up. Try catch this one up, tag us in here and then come down here. We've got a little inverse head and shoulders formed, and this is broke out higher. So what you would expect to see from that is the range of the head above. So this gives us like a decent profit target higher. We're not going to buy it, we're just going to wait to catch it on a resell. We've got a 1 hour fair value gap here, which is an overlap of fair value gaps, which you call that a balanced price range. So I am looking for a deep pullback into the 78.6 to trade this one. This is currently testing that 4 hour fair value gap there. But like I said, we've got this 1 hour balanced price range up here that I feel like it'll probably take out and get us in for a nice 5.7. This is pushing higher. Might not tap us in. We'll see. If not, we'll keep looking on the daily stuff. So yeah, as I was saying before, I was mainly trading equities because I didn't know about FX. That's why I didn't really know. So as I learnt about it from Grand Theft Auto, trading company stocks and shares, that's just what I got into in real life, and I understood. I had no idea about currencies, whereas I kind of had somewhat of an idea of what a business is, and if the business is doing better, its share price is going to go up in value. So looking at it like that, then I started studying like Warren Buffett, Benjamin Graham, those kind of value investors. They're not really traders. They're looking at the value of a company and then evaluating that compared to its stock price, seeing if they can buy it in for less than it's truly worth so that it'll go up and match that value. But it was just too slow. I mean, I was CFD trading it, but yeah, I was doing other bits at the time. I was doing like e-commerce stuff, like buying stuff, selling it on eBay and such. And then I got into not Amazon FBA, but the whole e-commerce space of like selling things on a website, selling things on eBay. I was buying stuff from China, selling it online on eBay and through websites. And it was around the end of 2019, I went to go get a shipment from my supplier, and they was like, sorry Callum, the whole of China's on lockdown at the moment, we can't send you anything out of our warehouses. And I'm like, oh, our factory, sorry. I was like, oh, that's funny, like, can anyone else, or is it just for like small orders? And they were like, no, the whole of China is shut down, no one's allowed to export goods out of China. There's a virus going around or something that we're not allowed to all the trade routes are on lock. So then I had that intel from my e-commerce business towards the end of 2019, and I also had knowledge of the stock market and how the stock market worked. So I'm like flashing back to playing GTA, where I knew, okay, if this company has a massive problem, its share price is going to fall. So I remember I shorted the fuck out of FedEx, DHL, all of these logistics companies that were heavily reliant on moving goods out of China and trade routes and stuff like that. I shorted the fuck out of them. And then, yeah, word came across to the West. We all know what was introduced. I don't know if I can even say it on YouTube without getting some form of censorship strike and shit. Probably not even allowed to swear. I think that gets you shadow banned as well. But yeah, I massively shorted all of those kind of stocks on leverage, and made a killing from that. And then it got worse, spread across to Europe, and then it was the whole of the travel industry was down and countries going into lockdown and shit. So I was in that from the top. I shorted that at the top. And then I started shorting airline stocks, mail stocks, delivery companies, all of this. I shorted all of them. And then it was like Italy 30, the DAX, UK 100, all the companies before they went into lockdown. I was in shorts, and the market crashed. So I literally shorted from the top as it crashed, from having an understanding of how the financial markets work, plus some knowledge of things that are going to happen in real life that haven't been priced in yet. And that was my real like first victory in trading, and that was before I even got into FX. That was while I was trading equities and stuff like that. So knowing how the market moves compared with like real life stuff as well, like massive opportunities. And the financial market works in phases, right? So there's always going to be the next crash and stuff like that. So having this knowledge is more than just like the candlesticks on a screen. When things happen in real life and the market moves, like you can capitalize on that as long as you know how to place the trade, where to enter, where to have your risk management, stops, exit plans with take profits and everything. Then yeah, you can make a killing. It was similar to when like wars go off and stuff. I know when I think it was in that era that I'm not allowed to say, the oil went negative, didn't it? And I kind of missed the trick on that. I didn't really buy any oil, but I know a lot of massive firms bought oil. Like imagine having a buy limit on oil at 0. Like when you look back to it, like that was the gold mine for just making money. Like you can buy oil for nothing. It's free. You can just get infinite free oil in theory. Obviously, it didn't work like that on the exchanges, of course, but these firms, yeah, they did. Like they got oil for like pennies, and then it bounced up to like $200 a barrel. Like some firms made insane, like unimaginable wealth off of that move on oil. Jamie, pull that up. Pull that up, Jamie. That's what Joe Rogan says, isn't it? Let's get it up. Here. Bang. April 2020. Oil for nothing. Look at that wick. Imagine getting that order filled. Bang. 6 cents for oil. Like 5p for oil. And it bounced up to 100. Let's have our stop loss at minus $1. TP, $100 a barrel. Firms caught that. Investment firms caught that. Mental. Like that is the highest conviction 100R trade you could ever hope for in a lifetime, and we had it a few years ago. It was nuts. Right, we're not swept the highs yet. So we still have, in theory, a chance to get in. It's moving a bit mad though. It's moving mad, I can't lie. GU looking better. Free pip stop. Let's see what everyone's saying. Sorry, I've just been in the zone. So yeah, that's how I got started in trading. Well, okay, still got more of the story left. So made a killing off short in the stock market back in like 2019, 2020. I actually then bought it back from the bottom. Like once it bottomed out, I started buying shit back, like gold, safe haven assets, social media, tech, Amazon, all that sort of stuff. So I shorted it all the way down. Once it like bottomed out, I didn't buy a falling knife, but once it hit like a decent level, started buying all the growth stocks. There was like Palantir smashed it, Tesla smashed it. All these companies after the crash, not only did if you short them all the way down, you could make a killing, but now imagine all of these like high value companies are just on sale. So I started buying shit back, like social media, Netflix, all the ones that were like heavily relevant during that period of time, which I again can't really say that, but we all know what I'm talking about. So ones that were really relevant companies during that period of time, Netflix, Amazon, all that sort of stuff, bought all of those dirt cheap, rid it all the way up, sold them at the top. I mean, I could have kept holding them, but I just wanted the money. I was fucking 20 years old and, well, 20 years old. I wanted it to reinvest. Alright, these are looking nice. And then crypto started pumping. So I got in crypto. I was margin trading Bitcoin from like 10k up, and needless to say what happened there. That rode up. I sold that. I basically bought Bitcoin on a swing trade with no TP at like 10k, rid it all the way up to 60, saw the head and shoulders, cashed out at like 55k from 10k, and I was also catching re-entries, actually using the 50 EMA on the Bitcoin on like 4 hours. So whenever Bitcoin came down to that, I was stacking positions on it long to go higher on Bitcoin. Got in Doge at like 0.04 cents, something like that, something crazy like that. Binance coin, when Binance first launched, I did like 30x on that as well. So yeah, I made some real good plays during that period of time. And then it was from there that I really switched to FX after crypto. So I was equities, crypto, and then FX. Because I stumbled across FX and I was like, oh my god, it's like this all the time. Like in equities and crypto, it's kind of reliant on the world sentiment. If something's going down in the world, it moves. FX moves every single day, like it's highly liquid. So you can do this stuff every single day. You know, if you look at an equities chart, yeah, you might be able to catch something similar, just for higher commissions and higher spreads because there's not as many people doing it. Crypto, it might just go down if nothing's happening and shit like that. And it's just way more volatile. So yeah, I moved to FX logically after all of that happened. Took me, with everything I already knew, took me like a year and a half to really find a decent FX strategy. Developed on it, found more strategies, made my current strategies better, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, overall about 8 years in the markets for me. And I'd say like 5 years FX. See what we have here. Both looking similar. EU's been the stronger of the two. Could take both of these. That's a 3R, that's a 3.2. GU's 4.4. That's a 3 pip stop. It's quite a wide stop. Why am I so wide on that? Oh, it's because I wanted the 3 pip. Yeah, fair enough. Double top, double top. Right, let's price him up. EU. Need to wait for entry confirmations. By the way, guys, these aren't limit orders. 3 pips. Tick on EU will be like 2 pips. 2 ticks, sorry. Okay, let's get that one ready just in case I need to. EU. That's ready if I need it. And then go to GU, which is 4.4 with a call it a 3 tick spread. Okay, right. Let's lock and load and wait. Could go tighter with that stop. Go 3 ticks below. Right, so GU is priced up. I'm waiting on a rejection. Need 42.5 lots. Let's do EU again with the new level. EU 2.9. $64. So I can put 32 on that. Might be pushing off without us. Yeah, that's broke the high. Didn't pull back far enough. GU's broke the high. EU might do the same. Probably will. Okay, G's off the cards. See what happens on the session range. Doubt that's coming back for us. Yeah, it broke the high. Bosh. Okay, session range has been taken. Like that. So this was your classic Asian range sweep. Come and take the low and then take the high. Didn't actually pull back enough for us on each of these moves for us to get in for an optimal entry. Like that. So let's look to continue London session. You want to just be careful here, see what happens, whether it sweeps that and then comes back down, or what's nicer is when it sweeps that but then actually carries on higher and we can just continue our run. But you kind of want to wait to see, you don't want to jump the gun on that. I'm going to go for a momentary toilet break and then we'll come back and see how the market's moving. And we're back. Got myself an esteemed soda water. Oh shit, I need to put my laptop on charge before we die here. There we go. we're active, as the general himself would say. Right, I've got a few questions. I'm going to go over them now. Bit of intense market action this morning. Promise it's not a beer. Just soda water. Right. What have I missed? So yeah, I feel like I've fully covered. It is a long story, but I feel like I've fully covered my road into trading and into the markets in general. 8 years ago. Hey bro, Mrs. heard what you mentioned and asked what does your partner do for work-wise. I'll drop you a message, bro. See if we can get Jenny something as well. It's not OF before everyone starts trying to fucking play that card. Some travel affiliate stuff, which is kind of perfect for us. Have you cancelled? Yeah, gone over that. Why FX? So yeah, FX is always moving, man. Like, it's always moving. So going from equities and crypto before, like I said, like they had to really be like real world fundamentals driving price. But FX is just so like zero sum game esque that there's always buyers and sellers. It's highly liquid. It's always moving. So all of that movement that I was capitalizing on with equities and crypto, it always happens in FX. Like this is just your daily movements, you know what I mean? Whereas this is what you'd like get hard over in stocks. You'd wait a whole year for something like this to happen. So yeah, and there was a lot less having to stay on top of research and stuff. So if you're equities trading, like you would in a hedge fund, like you'd need to be fucking getting up crack of dawn, reading the tape, studying the financials like news-wise every morning to see what changes in companies are happening, listening to Bloomberg while you're having your breakfast and stuff, whereas you don't need to do that in FX as much when you're just price action trading. So again, what we're looking at here is, yes, to the blind eye, price is trending, making higher highs and higher lows, but we've now swept this session range. So we don't just blindly assume that it's going to keep moving higher. That is a significant level that we've just taken out. So it is a possibility that we have a break of structure here, which would then make this, at this level, a change of character. And you might then see the price go to the downside afterwards. So this is the difference between like pattern trading and actually trading. So most people think like, oh my god, I've learned ICT, like I'm just going to wait for that to appear in the markets. But you need to understand when to look for entries and when not to look for entries. That's more important than knowing an entry and knowing an entry model. So at this level here, we wait. We want to see if this breaks and goes lower, or we want to see if this can continue making higher highs past the level. If we go past the level, our next session range is all the way up here from yesterday. So if it does, then we've got plenty of room to work and go higher. Could potentially look at it just taking out that liquidity. See what happens at that point. But yeah, if not, these are your main areas of interest if we do keep going higher. I don't think it will, based on what we're looking at. Well, sorry, I hope that it doesn't, not that I don't think it will. It could, just as easily go higher as go lower, but if you think about what we're looking at from a day perspective, it's hit that 4 hour. So here's some scenarios. Give me my toolbar back. Prices push higher. It's left behind these areas of inefficiency. Fair value gap, order block. On the 1 hour, you've got another fair value gap down here too. So it could just pull back to the 50% level like it has and reverse and go higher. Yes, that is one scenario. The other scenario is that we dig lower and take out more of this inefficiency below, which would maintain better order flow, and then push higher. So those are two possible scenarios, not the only scenarios. So yeah, we're making lower lows and lower highs as we speak. So we could just be sweeping this session and moving on lower down here. So what price has done is it's just swept the high and low of this Asian session range to keep going lower. Pump liquidity into the market. So plenty of scenarios that could happen right now. It's not our job to guess, it's our job to wait and see at this level what happens, and then we can make a better guess once we have that information. Let's look at it on the 1 minute. Was Elliott waves a thing you first started with? No, funnily enough, I didn't start with Elliott waves. I always saw them, and I always saw like overcomplicated versions of them with like fucking crabs and dragonflies and butterfly patterns and all of these fucking flying bat pattern in the market, and I thought, oh, I'll work up to that. Those look like really complex. And then now I look back and I'm like, all of that is just absolute bullshit. And no such thing as a fucking crab pattern. The only thing that you really need to know about Elliott waves is that the market will move in its intended direction with, let me find a good example. So if we take this leg here, okay, and we'll just focus on this, which in itself on the higher time frame is just a wave in itself, okay, and then you go deeper and you start to see, oh, there's actually little sub movements within this, and then you go deeper and you see them more. Let's go back to it. You see what on one time frame was just a straight line is actually broken down into different wave structures within it. Sort of like if you take a leaf under a microscope and you see all the cells moving and shit, which at face value just look like one thing, and then you go deeper and there's actually little fractal structures inside it as well. So one hour, maybe 4 hours better to go over. So Elliott waves theory, and it's important to address the word theory there because it's not science, okay? It's not like this is what happens, it's just this is like, as a theory goes, this is like the theory of it, but the way that I see it is like this is the probability of what happens. This is the highest probability of what happens. So they say that the market moves in waves. If this is your direction, then you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves making up that move like that. And then what happens is price will correct itself like that. And when price corrects itself, it goes A, B, C, down like that. And that move is just this, going down. That is not a swastika. That is just price moving down. And then what you are left with is something that looks like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess that should be going through the middle there. And then A, B, C. And then what happens afterwards, again, you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. And then what you notice is all of that on the higher time frame is just its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where each of these is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the picture. The price is fractal like that on Elliott waves. The main takeaway from that, which really helps you in trading with trading the trend and counter trend, is that the best place to trade is to buy here and to sell up here. Or you buy here and you sell up here. Or you could just fucking hold that cunt all the way up there. What you don't want to do is sell there. It may look like it, but for example here, that's only a 5-hour trade. Your highest probability setups are from these ones, are from these waves in the direction of the trend. They're the moves that you want to catch, okay? So now, how do you know that it's one of these? Well, it would have just come from a correction beforehand. If you just hop into price when price is already doing this, and you're thinking, oh well, it's making higher highs and higher lows, I'm just going to catch a buy. Well, that's how you fall for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay, because you don't understand waves. Now, this is just probability. Okay, so yes, it might keep going higher and higher and make more than 5 waves, but after you've had those first 5 waves, the likelihood of it carrying on in that direction gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's not a high conviction trade to buy when you're all the way up here. You want to at least wait for it to have its correction and then start looking for buys again. Likewise, if you're trying to sell this, okay, you wouldn't just say, oh well, price has had 5 waves up, so I'm just going to put a sell on, and it could never break that because I've had 5 waves. Well, no, that's not true. Like, it's still possible that you go higher. So don't try and short an ABC. Look for a market which is going this way and trade the 5 waves lower, like that. And then instead of trying to catch a sell on that B wave, you can catch a sell like here, or here, or here, where you've got a much higher probability and higher take profit anyway. So that's like the fundamentals of Elliott waves summed up in about 5 minutes for you. Nice and simple. There's a lot extra to it in terms of like, if this line crosses this high, or if this high breaks this low, and if this gets to this percentage of retracement and stuff like that, which yeah, maybe, but you can't be as specific as that within trading. Like everything that I've just shown you there within that last 10 minutes is pretty much everything practical that you could need to know about Elliott waves. So here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could say, and then you could say you have like an ABC. So it's pretty easy to spot in hindsight Elliott waves. Like you could quite easily do what I've just done there and look on previous price action. The hard part is knowing what's going to happen at this side of the graph. So that's why I say, like, if you've had the 5 waves, just wait for that correction and then wait for price to begin again. Because yeah, it's super easy to be like, oh well, yeah, I saw that this happened on the current price. Anyone can do that. It doesn't take a genius. You have to know what's going to happen here to make money, not what's happened here. So Elliott waves is like, at first glance, super simple. You get into a little bit and it seems hard, but then when you realize the few things about it that you need to know, it becomes super easy again. What we're looking at here now, this high, we want to see if this high breaks and keeps pushing higher. Don't really want to just blindly sell that above, because again, this could just be like a fake out, a double top. So you want to see where price goes. It looks like it might just continue higher. Take out this one. If it does, there's a lot of room above for price to go. If it is trying to go higher and higher. So here's a good example. Oh, fuck that off. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you have is something like an ABC where this low was lower than this low. So price has corrected itself. And then you've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could expect this to go lower. But like I said, it's just a probability of that. It doesn't mean that it's going to. And on the 1 minute time frame, you can't really apply it to that detail like you can on the higher time frames. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are your lows. These are highs. So here on the 1 hour, we've got 5 clear waves. Shouldn't really be looking for longs until we get a correction, which would be a correction below this low, like that. What I'm looking for with this trade is see if there is an opportunity on the 15 minute, which again we are quite deep into buys now, but from our like trend lines, maybe that's the trend line we should be looking at. Maybe this is overbought. So I'm not that invested in what happens here. I just kind of want to see what plays out. We're already in our long up to this TP3. I would want to wait and see after we have this, like we had here on the 15 minute. This was like our ABC correction, price broke higher. I want to see if we have that on the 15 minute here. So I'm going to take that off for now, just so it doesn't look like it's a buy order. want to see what happens with these levels. There's your 1 hour fair value gap. Here's your 4 hour fair value gap. Price has managed to find some form of support on that 50% within that 4 hour FVG. Might be riding higher. I'm going to bring that to where it's relevant now. So here on U-Swiss, if we're saying price is trending lower, 1, 2, 3. If this is the high, then yeah, you could say this is the 5th wave down. So we're just trying to catch a subwave in that last leg, in that last wave. If it will retest. Yeah, if you've gone deep into Elliott waves, it gets to a point where you don't need to go that deep into it. It doesn't play out according to theory. Just understand the principles of like impulse waves and corrective waves, that they will commonly pull back to the Fibonacci levels, and that's all you can do. Like, there's guys that will sell services where they'll like mark out the Elliott waves for you on the price, but it's all retrospective. Like, they're not predicting what's going to happen next, they're just showing you what has happened in the past. You can't use that really to trade off of in the future. So the main parts are understanding, like, if you've had those 5 waves in the trend direction, it's likely that price is overbought and oversold, and the people that caught in on the first 5 waves are taking their profits, which is then reversing price as they're closing their orders. This U-Swiss position, I don't know whether to take it from the 78.6. The only reason I am doing is because we've got this balanced price range up here. But I could also take it and be a bit more safe and get it from the 71. A little bit undecided. I was going to wait to see what price does during the day, and it looks like the dollar is selling off, which is why these are pushing higher. EU and GUs broke higher again, so that could suggest that we do move even higher, come for that liquidity level up there. That's not as good because, you know, our upper limit was going to be this liquidity. Our TP2 is above that, but that's not really that good of a trade due to that. Euro's got more room though. Euro's looking better. How long did it take for you to find a profitable strategy? So I did the classic thing that I feel like everyone does, and I strategy hopped a little bit, started learning this, started learning that, looking at loads of free videos on YouTube, trying to like piece different strategies together. Because I was an MMA fighter at the time, and the way MMA works, so mixed martial arts, is if you get good at boxing and you get good at Muay Thai and you get good at jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, and then combine them all together, that makes you a really great fighter. But that is not how it works within trading, which I fell for. So I thought, if I just learn this and then I just learn that and then I learn that and then I piece it all together, I'm going to be amazing at trading. And it's just analysis paralysis, information overload, way too much going on that doesn't combine together. What you need is a clear set of instructions for a trading plan which says, I'm going to trade within this time, I'm going to trade these pairs, I'm going to trade these time frames, here's what I'm looking for an entry, here's what I need to confirm that entry, here's where my stop loss goes, here's where my take profits, here's what I'm going to risk. All of that. You don't need like a million different things, you need one clear plan and then stick to it, and then learn how to execute it, learn how to manage your emotions and what you think when you see the setup and stuff like that. It took me a while to actually find the strategy that I wanted to use. Going through all the free, like the truth about all the free bits on YouTube, like most of them, you're not gonna find everything you need to know on a free YouTube video. And while I give away a lot, because I don't really have that big of an audience yet, so I can give away a lot of value to get more people watching me and not the other guys. And that's kind of the same logic that I followed. So the guy, I didn't have a mentorship, but I did buy his course and it did help and I did follow what he said. It's not the strategy that I use now, but I did learn things from it, and I bought a couple other courses as well, which they did work. I vouched for the guys, I made sure that they were good guys. They're not really around anymore, but I made sure that it worked and then learnt it. That was alright, it was okay, the market's changed, I learned how to improve the strategy and apply it to other time frames and areas and stuff. But those guys were giving away a lot of value for free on YouTube because they didn't have that big a following. So I'd say stay away from the guys that have like massive followings, because they're at a point now where they're just trying to make money. Like they're trying to just give away little bits of value and then you spend $3,000 on their mentorship or course or boot camp. So it's always best to like get the little gems off the small guys who want to give that value away, to just grow their audience. And then in future, like I'm not gonna fucking do live trading sessions for free when I've built up my platform. I'm giving away priceless information to you guys here. So this will go behind a paywall once I've built up a decent group. So get in that while you can. It's just logic and it's just business. So it's important to understand that from a business perspective as well. So the guys that I went with were only quite small guys, but I understood they knew what they were doing, they knew what they were speaking about. I bought their stuff for quite a good price. I wasn't loaded. I couldn't spend like $3,000 on a fucking mentorship. So I played it smart, learnt it, and then combined some stuff, and now it works. So in terms of time horizons and stuff, I'd say it took me, in terms of when I got into FX, I probably spent a year without spending any money on courses or mentorships or stuff like that, just trying to learn it myself. And this whole like self-taught idea, I was trying to do that for like a year and just not getting anywhere and just losing money. So it was after a year that I decided to buy the first course and actually just lock in, learn it, stick it out. And that is what worked for me. I got on the other side of the paywall, and that's where the actual value is that you need to know to actually put it all together. So as much as everyone slams courses and that, like, you're paying to learn a high value skill. I'll give away stuff for free to show you there's even more value behind the paywall. That's just how business works, isn't it? So I'd say it took me a good 18 months to 2 years of learning that course content and applying it, studying it, backtesting, applying it, all that sort of stuff, and then I became consistently profitable. Right, we've got EU coming up, 2.5 pips. Tick on spread on EU. We're looking at a couple pips, couple ticks. Sorry. So 2.7. EU 74. See if this rejects. I want to see a couple of rejection candles from this. I'm not just going to enter off of one 1 minute candle after that. So I've got a couple of minutes here. Right, that's one rejection candle. See what this one does. This might be overbought at this point. So, not too rushed to enter. Yeah, we're not entering this. Okay. Cool, good to know. So, what you're seeing there is what I was explaining about wave structure. We've had just way too many waves high without a correction. And then, of course, what is actually happening that's bringing price down is, like I said, imagine if you caught a long, like here. You're going to be taking your profits the further price goes up. And when you close out that long, you're now going short on the market. So yeah, no trade off that. So now let's see where price goes. Forming this support. Could be a head and shoulders. Let's see. GU I'm not really liking too much to stack. I was really looking to stack here, but it shot off with hours. That is the higher daily upper range from that trend line. We also have one here. You can't really ignore that it might be testing. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, 4 tap. Again, the way to look at trend lines and stuff it's not necessarily saying that it will respect it. Like, there comes a point where they have to break higher. But it is important to understand that there's going to be some form of reaction at that point. We don't have, so this bullish candle on the daily has been mitigated. There's no fair value gap on that, but there is fair value on these daily candles. So it would make sense to keep going bullish from an order flow perspective. That's taken the high on the 15-minute. I wouldn't be buying that above there though, with stops beneath that. You'd want to see it come down a bit more. It's like 71. Maybe just 2 TPs on that to keep it within the trading range. Did you have a mentor, or were you most self-taught? So it wasn't really a mentor, but I bought a couple courses and studied them really, really well and applied everything in there. But I didn't. They also had mentorships where they'd give you like one-on-one support and stuff that I couldn't really afford at the time. So I didn't opt in for those. But I studied all their videos and looked into their strategy and applied it, practiced it, and back tested it. Yeah, all the self-taught stuff just wasn't working. Like, if you're self-taught, I would say that's where you're going off like free shit online. And with anything that's free online, you're the product. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going on social media, it's free, but that's because like your attention is the product. With most of these like free signals groups and stuff, you're going to get made to sign up to a broker and deposit X amount of money, and they're making commission off of your sign up and your trading volumes and stuff. So anything that's like free, you do have to think like, why are they benefiting out of that? So like with this, yeah, it's a free live. The reason I benefiting is it's growing a community that will sell for cheap to start off with, and then slowly increment the price behind a paywall. And anything that's like a new product, obviously you offer it out, show people that it works, and then you start charging for it. Like, these lives won't be a thing next month probably, as I've said. So yeah, beware of like all the self-taught stuff, because I had a bit of an ego with it where I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy anyone's course, I'm not going to learn it from anyone, I'll figure it all out myself. And like, you need to drop your ego with it. Like, ego is, as far as emotion goes, like the biggest ego. It is a lot better to learn from someone else who's already there and done it and can just teach it you A to Z. Right, here's what works, here's what not works. Anyone that's self-taught, I think you're just kind of a little bit stupid or just too arrogant. Because let's be honest, like, you're not self-taught, are you? You've gone hard on the free shit online. So someone else has taught you anyway. So you can't claim that you're self-taught in trading realistically. Would you ever consider doing a masterclass over all this? At the moment, I'm putting together a course, a video course, showing everything that you need to know, everything that I won't show for free as well, all of the mindset stuff, how to practice it, discipline, risk management, lifestyle, how to fit it in and everything. I'm putting a video course together for all of that. I'll give most of it away for free again. And then just have like the final bits that you need as the paid parts, but still accessible. And then we'll set up a trading academy style for Moneda. So me and a few of our other mentors, it'll be like a school type approach where you'll do some form of entry exam to qualify. Because at this stage where I'm at, I cannot be arsed dealing with people that have never tried trading and they're just asking the most basic questions about what is stuff that, like, you guys watching right now, I know that none of you will ask that sort of stuff, but do you know what I mean? Like, for that sort of mentorship, I kind of only want to help people that are already in their trading career at the moment, trying to get better. If people want to start out in trading, we've got plenty of free material, and then go through the course and then join the group and see it as we're trading along, and then you can get on the mentorship. Because, you know, it will be like a one-to-one. You will be getting access to us directly. So there's only a certain amount of people that we can handle anyway. So yeah, it's not going to be like anyone can join. We're only going to take on people that have done a bit of trading already and just want help with our strategies, mindset, becoming consistently profitable, all of that sort of stuff. And we'll have a few different mentors teaching, a few solid guys who will show everyone the ropes. And I feel like that's a lot better than a personal one-to-one mentorship, because there'll be valuable advice from some of our other mentors that I might not think to give you, or even they would say the exact same advice that I'm giving you, but coming from them in their phrasing, it might resonate a lot better with you. Even if it's the same thing that I'm telling you, they might be a better teacher for you. You know, everyone's got their different learning styles and stuff. So I feel like doing it as a team will trump so many people's like one-to-one mentorships and be a lot more value, because, you know, that's how you do it if you go to uni, if you go to college. Like, you don't get taught by just one teacher, do you? You have a whole academy teaching you. So I feel like that's the best way that we can do it. And that'll be like a masterclass. How much would you say you lost before becoming profitable? So with me starting out in equities, I'm pretty sure I remember being down about £2,500, and that's when I was like 18 to 20. So that was 5 years ago when I was 20. So if you count for inflation, like how much that would be now, it'd be more than £2,500. And it was also a lot of money to me at the time, as just a fucking broke teenager. So yeah, you have to think relative with this sort of stuff, into it, with financial position. But for me, like, if someone just gave me £2,500 when I was 20, like, I'd be over the moon. And that's how much I was negative. And then I remember the instance that I told you about where, you know, that Oriental flu, if I can say that without getting fucking flagged for saying that key phrase that they look at. When I was trading off of the effects of that in the markets, I remember making that much in profit. So I would have made like $5,000 in like the first 2 weeks of trading that, and then I was like, bang, okay, this is what it feels like to be profitable. And then from there, I kind of had a good run. Like I'd felt the taste of winning after losing for so long, and I kind of knew from there what I was destined for in the charts. It was probably more than that, to be fair, but the £2.5 is just what I remember on that one account on my equities. I remember I tried Forex with one of these guys when I was 18 that was fucking rocking around with the Gucci man bags, going on holidays and fucking all these like Fendi shopping bags, like classic lifestyle scammer pretending to be a Forex trader. I remember I joined his signals group. Yeah, it's free to enter. You just got to deposit £300 in this broker. And then it was just a Telegram group with just a load of like, buy this amount, here's where to put your stop loss and take profit. No analysis, no education, no explanation of why they were doing it or what it even looks like on the chart. You just fucking copy and paste these numbers and put it in your thing. Next thing I know, I fucking lost 300 quid. And then obviously now I realise, okay, he literally gets paid from the broker for signing me up. He loses all my money, which the broker pockets, and they pay him a part of that. And that's kind of how all the lifestyle Forex scammers work, to a certain extent. So that obviously was another few hundred quid. There probably were others that I tried out that I lost money on as well, but yeah, a few grand when I was like 18, 19. But I feel like that's just, you charge it to the game. You charge it to the game, don't you? Like, if you're first starting out in trading, I'd definitely say be on a demo account while you're actually learning what the candlesticks are and how things move and stuff. Most people, they're too arrogant for it, and I was as well. I was like, nah, what's the point in trading on demo? Like, what if I win? And then it's just fake money, that's what you think, innit? But you don't think, oh yeah, but what if I just lose every single trade? So yeah, I lost money live trading to start out, and I feel like everyone does, but you just charge it to the game, you make it back. If you just stick with it and find something that actually works, then you make it back, and it's all worth it. Right, so this is either an ABC correction to then keep going higher, or this is our change of character to the downside. So we'll wait and see. I've only got about an hour left trading anyway, so I probably won't get any more setups intraday. No point rushing it. Couple of swings that I'm looking at that will continue on in the New York session. I won't be live fucking waiting for these ones, don't worry. I'll just call them out in the VIP when we've decided on a suitable level, if we're looking to take them or not. Interestingly, what happened on NU and AU, if you remember where we were at yesterday, we said price has printed the substructure above here, and now what we're waiting on is this break of substructure to the upside to make a thing, but it's not. It's wicked off of that and looks to be going lower. Aussie dollar, if you remember, I gave you that valuable tip when setting alerts. If you're looking for a break, you want to use once per bar close. So here I didn't get the notification of this because it didn't close above, which sometimes you'll get if you use, well, you will get if you just put like trigger once or something like that, but if you choose to do it on the close, you won't get notified of a fake out. So yeah, little tip for you about TradingView. But yeah, Aussie, this is not a break of substructure yet, it's just the substructure. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm not looking for trades on that yet. Euro. that kind of did have the substructure, but I remember we're in a bit of no man's land at the moment. That has broke out higher on the 4 hour. Or would you call that a daily trend? Yeah, I'd kind of call that a daily trend. So I want to see a 4 hour substructure. I wouldn't really call that a 4 hour substructure looking back, because it came back in the trend. This is your substructure. So let me delete that line so that I can plot this line. I'd say that is your substructure. So now we're in the same boat as we're in here and here. GU is in a different daily trend. It's got more room to go yet. So GU's a little bit complicated at the moment. We'll see if we get another push higher. So yeah, Rio, to give you a number, it was definitely about £2.5 grand on my equities account. It was a few £100 with that first Forex signals group thing. Definitely a few of 100 here and there trying stuff, and then I bought a course for about £500. So overall I was probably like 3 or 4 grand down before I started making money. Well, yeah, lost to the market, but obviously I did kind of get lucky with the whole stock market crash. But I don't know, it wasn't really luck, because it was opportunity meeting preparation at that point, and that was a good few years into understanding the equities markets. So I did make a good 5 grand off that play, but even still I was down a few grand down before that happened. When marking out fair value gap, do you go top down from say the 4 hour, or do you stick with the specific time frames? Fair value gaps, I'm interested in the 1 hour and the 4 hour if I'm looking at day trades and swing trades. You can look at them on the daily, like daily ones are relevant as well. But yeah, 4 hour and 1 hour I'm looking at for this sort of time frame reference. And then if I'm looking intraday, I'd probably say 5 minute fair value gaps, like this one. That one's just been taken. You can look on the 1 minute as well. In general, when it comes to time frames, like the higher the time frame, the higher relevance it has. Like something happening on the 4 hour is going to be what's happening on the 1 hour. Something that's happening on the 1 hour is going to be what's happening on the 1 hour, the 1 minute. You get the idea. So that's why I say that it's always best to start off swing trading with like a higher time frame system, for several reasons, to be fair. Yeah, I'd say nothing really is going to happen on these for the rest of the day, I'd imagine. Well, until New York, that is. Just interested to see if this comes back down now. If we're looking here, like we said, it swept the Asian high. It looks to have like met this resistance up here. This might be the reversal lower, which will bring us into an entry down here on a day trade. That could be the moves today. But we'll see what happens, and I'll let everyone know in the VIP what we end up doing. Like I said, at the moment, VIP is £200 entry, £199, and that's lifetime. Come February, so another week, we're going to bump that up to, I think, a £365 yearly membership. So like £1 a day investment. into that education. But obviously everyone that's in before then on a lifetime, that's it, you're locked off lifetime, you don't have to pay anything ever again. And we will keep increasing the price as we add more value and we get more people in the group that we need to support and stuff. So get in while it's cheap. Buy low, sell high. Rio, when you're dropping the dates. In terms of the courses and stuff, I'm just getting on with the filming at the moment. Wait for the editor to edit it all, and then it'll be dropped. I'm just trying to be productive with my spare time at the minute to get it done. First release price, beginner course is going to be free, definitely. Which will be like a full video course going over all the beginner concepts that you need to know. Intermediate course, not really sure how I'm going to split like beginner, intermediate and advanced. The only thing I can really say for now is that most of it will be free, and then the real like value gems that will make you consistently profitable, those will be paid, of course, but for a fair price. And then we'll have the mentorship afterwards, which will be like applying the knowledge one-to-one with support and accountability and stuff. Declan says, hello, just wondering, do I need to pay taxes on my trading if I do it on the side? I trade on a live spread floating account. A few things. So first of all, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor or legal advisor, all of that stuff. All I can really say is my opinion of what I think is right, so don't hold me to it. But if you're in the UK, I'm pretty sure that trading on margin is classed as spread betting, so it's actually under the same legal tax as gambling. So if you're trading on your own personal funds, trading on margin or trading CFDs, the HMRC view it exactly the same as if you were just gambling, and in the UK that is tax free as long as it's on your personal funds. Now, when it comes to trading on prop firms or trading someone else's capital or something like that, that is a service, which makes it different from gambling. So then it is taxable because you're running a service. So my understanding, which isn't financial advice, is that trading on personal funds on spread, on margin, spread betting, is tax-free. But if you're running it as a service, aka trading someone else's capital, including a prop firm, then you're running a service as a contractor, and you need to either include it in a self-assessment under your own personal tax bracket or form a limited company and run it through there and pay corp tax and dividends rates and stuff. Now, gambling isn't tax-free in every country. We're just lucky in the UK. I know that in Hungary it's like 15%, and I'm pretty sure they tax it in America as well, if I'm not mistaken. So the whole gambling being tax-free isn't just isn't just like around the world. Like, we're just lucky that it's 0% in the UK. It's not capital gains tax if you're trading on margin and CFDs, I believe, not financial advice, because you don't own any assets when you're trading. You're simply speculating the derivative of the assets. So the way that I can explain that with less intense jargon is, if you bet on Manchester United to win 3-0, you're not suddenly a fucking glazier who owns shares in Manchester United. You're just betting that this result is going to happen as an outcome. So when you're trading on margin like this, you're just betting that price is moving up or down. You're not actually converting any pounds to dollars or dollars to pounds. So it's not capital gains tax as far as I'm aware. If you're doing spot buys, however, then it is, I believe. If you're just spot buying stocks and shares and crypto and commodities, I believe that is capital gains because you actually own the assets at that point. Does the VIP have education, or is it mostly signals? Yes, so we post the analysis along with the signals so that you can see the trade breakdowns and stuff. And then we have the VIP lounge, which is like an open community chat with all of our mentors and all of our traders. And that's where really you'll get the best education, because you can freely ask questions to everyone else, post your own analysis with your own trade setups and ask for feedback and advice and stuff. So yeah, it is highly educational. I only really label it signals because that's what people understand it as, but it is more like an educational trading group where we'll show you our analysis with the trades. You'll learn from us in real time as we're trading, and you can post your analysis and your understanding of stuff and ask questions to everyone else. So yeah, it is an educational group more so than a signals group. And it's not just like a Telegram chat that's one way. You'll be put in the lounge with all the other traders. We've got 30 plus traders in there that you can ask questions with and network with and stuff. So that's the power. That's the power of the VIP. Okay, so the 15-minute looks like it might be reversing here, which is good for us. Looks like it's broke through that high, tapped into that previous high there, and might be looking to reverse. That's kind of what we want to see here to take our trade. If that's true, the same should happen here. That would be a bullish dollar move. So yeah, those are the current setups that we're looking at, but they're not set yet. These aren't limit orders just yet. We're waiting and seeing. But yeah, U-Swiss, I do like the 78.6 level. If you look, it is actually a well-respected structure level in the past. Got these lows, this low. It was previous resistance there. Previous support there 3 times. And then now it's broken under and it's kind of acted as resistance a couple times already. Maybe that's where we bounce from again from this. That would give us a nice 5.6. We just want to hold stops above this high so that we're obeying proper wave structure, and then we've got a valid trade. It's just about catching where do we enter this from here. But yeah, cool. I don't think we're going to have any more action really on this. Maybe we might GU. Is GU going to sweep? Maybe that's a little engineered double top. Generate some liquidity above there. Okay. Right, okay, we might have something here. Just a 4. If that top gets swept, we've got the EMA support. We've had this little ABC correction. ABC. The C wave will tag us in. We have took out the top of Asia, but we've not actually swept this. And this could actually be a little manipulation of a double top to generate more liquidity above this to swipe out, which we could get an entry from. That is confirmation. Price has come down to the zone. Let's see. I think that's worth a limit. EU looking similar? EU's not looking similar. But again, EU's quite far from taking that as well. We've got a tweezer bottom forming on here. Let's go for GU. Okay, GU limit 5.1, 5 pips stop. GU spread 4 ticks. $36 lots. Okay, let's see. Entry GU pending buy limit 36 lots. Buying in 4 ticks above. Was that right? No, I need 18. Do it in 2. Pending buy limit 18. Blah blah blah. Yes, cool. Right, place another one of them. Let's see. It is valid. It's a valid trade. No matter how beautiful or ugly it is valid. That's at 3.18. Cool. Got half an hour for that to tag in or not to tag in. See what happens. What do you think to news? Will Trump speaking do anything? Yeah, it definitely will. Trump speaking at 4. Hold on, let me refresh this. Yeah, cool. So this is on UK time. So Trump's speech is at 4 p.m. That will have a similar effect to like when Jerome Powell speaks and stuff like that. So the markets will be sensitive around that time. It's nothing like when you have a forecasted figure and then you're looking at what happens afterwards. But yeah, let's say something gets mentioned that affects currencies, and yeah, something will happen from that. Just expect volatility during the speech. How and why are you expecting a second bounce back to our Fibonacci? Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, mate. Like, it's a probability setup. It might not. I'm not expecting it to. That's the wrong way to think about it. But if it does, then it's an entry for our model, which could lose and we lose 1%, or it could win and we could make 3%. And I've studied the amount of times that it wins and the amount of times that it loses, and the amount of times that it wins massively overrules how much it loses when it loses. So it's not like you're expecting it to happen. It's not a science where input is related to output. It's a probability scenario. That's the kind of mindset you need for trading. In terms of a technical basis, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We've just had a correction which has wiped out a previous low, so that's liquidity injected back into the market. We've got support from our EMA. We've got a double top here, which would have stop orders lying above that the market would want to seek. So that's drawing liquidity towards it. That's all the technical reasons. Okay, so this might just push higher without us, and that's fine. After a free wave correction, we should expect. No, you should never expect. That's the thing. You don't actually, like, it's just a probability. So, yeah, if you're following that logic, you've had your free waves, which it might be that, or it might be this. That might be your free waves. It could even go deeper. And then you would have like a 5 waves higher, but that's not really, like, on this time frame, that's not really what you're looking for. You wouldn't really enter off that. It's all of these other reasons that I've explained that's your entry criteria. The amount of times it's hit the EMA already, there's no real upper limit on like the amount of times, because you can still have wave structure above the EMA, and then that C wave is what taps you back in. When I'm using the EMA, I just want to see that it's hit it twice already as a minimum, but there's no real maximum to the amount of times that it can have hit the EMA. So it depends. This is just like a average of price. So crazy things can happen above and below and still be above the average. And also, the ABC wave doesn't necessarily have to be lower than this. Like, it could be a double bottom or just a slight sweep that provides the correction. So, like I said, with Elliott waves, you just need to understand the base level fundamentals of them. But trying to go too far deep into them isn't, like, it doesn't really happen that way in practice. And yeah, this might just carry on going up without us and we not get tagged in. But, you know, with the way the markets work, like, price could be going up and we could just get one wick that stops everyone else out but gets us in. So, never really use the word expect in trading, because it's not a science like that. Nothing has to happen, and you kind of fall short with yourself when you're expecting things to happen and then it doesn't happen. Everything is just a chance of happening. So you need to position yourself with a model that, let's say you've got like an 80% chance of something happening. That doesn't mean you expect it to happen. You're just allowing yourself to play the game of either this happens or this happens. And the 80% of times that it does happen, you want to know the outcome. And then the 20% of times that it happens, you want to know the outcome. And then you sum up the result of your outcome times the 80% plus the sum of the outcome times 20%. Add it all together. Is it a positive result? Okay, then you've got an edge. And that's how it is. It is sort of like owning a casino. If you own a casino and you have punters spinning your roulette wheel, you know, there's a black square, there's red squares. Sorry, there's black squares, there's red squares, and there's a green square. If someone goes to your casino and just bets on it landing red, the same bet every single time, the house is always going to win. Because a roulette wheel is not a 50-50 chance. It's actually, if you've got 37 tiles, 18 red, 18 black and 1 green, it's actually 18 out of 37 chance that it's red or black, and then it's 1 in 37 chance that it's green. And that 1 in 37 chance is the house's edge. And that's all they need. They'll say, yeah, come spin the roulette wheel. We know for a fact the numbers and the law of averages, they're always going to make money in the long run. That's not to say they don't lose money when people bet right, because they do. But they know their numbers that in the long term, as long as people keep spinning that wheel, they're going to make money. And how they have risk management is they say, you know, there's upper limits on how much you can bet at any one time. You can't just walk in and place £1 million on black. Like, they usually won't let you. There's a maximum amount to that, because they prefer you to have a large amount of small, controlled sample size bets for the long run, because that's where the law of averages is going to come into play. So similar with trading, you want to keep everything to like 1% risk per trade, or maybe 2% risk per trade, if that's what you want, and use the law of averages in your favor to just keep spinning that. Well, it's not like you're the one spinning the wheel, it's more like you own the fucking wheel and you're letting the market play your entry. Sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it's going to lose, but you know your numbers, so that in the long run you're the one that has the edge and you're always making money long run. Now, if you own a casino, there's genuinely going to be months that you don't make money. There's going to be months where people made more money from gambling than you did as the actual casino. But the winning months make up for the losing months, and that's why casinos are still very well in business and making lots of money, because they know their numbers, they know the probabilities, and they understand risk management, and they understand human psychology. So yeah, that's similar to how trading is. Right, we've got an aggressive pullback. Let's see if we make money or lose money. I just went off to get another soda water there. See if this taps us in. Got a nice accumulation of lows that we're entering on. Reacting to that EMA. Try and get a wick higher. Right, the 61.8. Yeah, you have a good night too, CM. Cheers for all the questions, I appreciate it. Don't think anything's like a dumb question that you don't want to ask, just ask it, because, you know, other people are thinking the same thing, and it provides me little valuable educational clips that I can take from these lives and post. So I do appreciate all the questions. No matter how hard you think they might be, I've got an answer for you. Right, we've got some price fluctuations here near our level. Still got the buy limit on, it's not tagged us in just yet. About a tick away. See if we get tagged in. We're on the line, we're just waiting for the spread. That should have been tagged in, but obviously spreads. So see if we get that retest. It's kind of an emotional roller coaster when you're this far away, because you want in price to be bullish, but you also want it to come down and tag you in. So yeah, the rejection and the consolidation at these levels is good, but just come down more to tag us in. That's how it feels like, right? But yeah, we're right on that level. We should get tagged in, but it's been a nightmare this past couple of weeks, hasn't it? We've had so many that are literally like a couple ticks away, that if spread wasn't a thing, we would have just been tagged in. Even when applying spreads, you know, the spreads fluctuate. So if I've applied a 2-tick spread to my position, but then at the time now it's fucking 3-tick, you don't get tagged in. So yeah, you're right, James. Spreads are a nightmare when you're on the 1 minute. They're not as bad when you're like day trading and swing trading, but fucking hell, can they make or break you on the 1 minute? Right, come on, that should get tagged in. Bang! Right, okay, we're in. 36 lots, straight down the pipe, raw as you can get. Yeah, I'm tagged in. Let's see. Right, I need to put my TPs on. TP2. We'll have that. TP1. We'll have that. See what happens. Spin the wheel. Is it going to be a buy? Is it going to be a loss? What broker are you using? This is a 200k Alpha Capital Group challenge. I'm on phase 2. It's an Alpha Capital Group raw swing account. Right, first 1 minute fell through. That has closed beneath the EMA. It's not looking good, boys. Might not be the day for it today. Yeah, probably going to get stopped. Okay, lost today. That's it. You know how much you've entered. You've not lost the house, you've not lost the wife, you've not lost the kids. You know, it's a 1% loss. Nice and controlled. Yeah, don't cry about it. That's just how trading goes. You understand the risks. When you win, you make more than when you lose. That's what's important. But yeah, just to show you real trading, authentic. You win some, you lose some. You see me winning a hell of a lot this past 2 weeks. We have been due a loss. So there you go. They do happen. No such thing as a 100% win rate. But yeah, in terms of that then, looks like we have changed character here, intraday. We've got New York open in an hour. So this kind of tells this a little bit more if this is a sweep of those highs, and then we're going to continue lower, fill these fair value gaps, and then we can maybe take the swing to trade this higher. But yeah, intraday, losing day intraday today. It's fine, don't cry about it. And this is why you put 1% risk per trade and have a decent RR for when you win. The hard part about being a beginner trader at the start is that, you know, it's not input equals output. So even when you're doing everything right like that, where the setup is valid, you can still take losing trades. So as a beginner, it is definitely hard. This is probably the hardest thing about your trading career, is when you're doing everything right and you take a loss because you're not actually sure if what you've done is right as a beginner. So that is definitely the hardest part mentally about getting into trading, is when you literally take a trade that's valid and you lose. And my advice for you is just gather the data, just do lots of back testing, forward testing, journal everything on Excel or sheets or whatever works best for you, so that you can see the amount of trades that you place in, add up all the wins, add up all the losses, and reassure yourself, okay, yes, this was a correct entry, it just lost this time. And like I said, with the probabilistic nature of trading, it's not I've done everything right, therefore my trade wins. It's I've done everything right, therefore the amount that I win when I win versus the amount that I lose when I lose is a profitable sum. And that's what trading's all about. CM says, also, could you have flipped the fib and put stops below the 6.18 extension? So extension, I don't know if you're using the right stuff there. So extension is anything above this. So these are your, just to clarify, anything within this is your fib retracement levels, and then these are your extension levels. I believe I know what you're asking. Okay, so if you're hypothetically looking to sell this, okay, you would take from the high to the low. Okay, and you'd say, oh, what the fuck have I done there? And you would say, take a sell there, put my stops above the high, and then these are your extension levels down, like that. So that's how you take the fib from this high to this low. What I used to do for people that have been around a long time, I know James in the chat is well aware of this, is I used to actually, instead of putting my stops like a certain amount of pips above the high, what actually helped me as a beginner is having a level like this, like 1.05 and also 1.1, and I would have my stops at like these defined levels above. More so relevant on the swing time frames than intraday, because they're only like a few ticks different when you're on the 1 minute. But that's something that might help you using fibs for stop losses. You wouldn't really want like you wouldn't want that as a stop. The 61, like if your stop's all the way up there, you're losing out on so much money, because the moment this high's broke, it's a change of character to the upside, and you shouldn't even be looking for sells following wave structure. You need a couple pips above to give it breathing room for if you have a double top and your spreads tap you out, or a tiny sweep of liquidity. You want to have a little bit of breathing room, but it's that balance between tight enough stops that you've got a good risk to reward, but then enough breathing room that if the highs get swept, you're still in the trade. So that's what you want to be looking for when you're putting your stops above highs and stuff. What you can also do, hypothetically, let me find somewhere that works. So let's say that doesn't really work. About this one. Nope, today's been too bullish. Let me find some previous price for you to show you what I'm about to say. Is that one going to work? Nope. Maybe this one. Hey, there we go. Okay, so put yourself in this scenario. You can enter from the 61.8, okay, and have stops below, TPs above. And that gives you an alright trade. The reason I use these two instead is they give you way more per win, and they're also hit quite frequently. But if you are certain, or at least have high conviction, that price is going to bounce off that 61.8, you can also use the 78.6 as if it was this low, so have stops like a few pips below it and have a trade like that. If you are keen on entering on that 61.8, sorry, you may, just have this stop beneath this order block or somewhere like that still allows you to enter off that 61.8 using fib levels and still having like a sensible stop loss. And then at least that will, this wasn't an actual trade, I'm being purely hypothetical, but yeah, that would have at least tagged you in, reversed, and you've got a sensible stop entering off the 61.8. So if you are loving the 61.8 level, that's something that you can do as well. But yeah, today London's been a loss. That's fine. This happens. I'm mature enough. I've been trading for long enough that you can see I'm not screaming and punching my desk about a loss. Like, losses happen. hopefully it's good for you to see that as well, everyone watching, that losses do happen. You know, if you're just looking at someone's like posted YouTube videos or their posts on social media, they're never going to post their losses. So when you're learning trading, it might feel like losses are like, oh my god, I've had a loss, but they're just part of trading, like, it happens. So we've had a double top slash head and shoulders, and we're looking to trade lower now. Okay, that's kind of good for this scenario. So let's end the live now. The trading range is coming to a close as we hit midday in that little hour pocket before New York Open. So intraday's over. Done intraday trading. Let's look at live. Let's hop off the live and we'll have a look at day trades and swing trade setups for the day and see what we can catch today in the VIP group. So yeah, take care everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've learned something valuable, and I'll see you tomorrow.